Steve Evans, first of all, here this afternoon after you've had a meeting with some EFL match official delegates. Can you tell us the context of that?
Yeah, it's obviously in the follow-up to recent games, but more importantly, the officiating that happened to us at Bolton on Tuesday. We had Kevin Friend, who's one of the senior PGLMO officials in the EFL, predominantly deals with championship referees. And of course, we had Josh Smith, the referee from Tuesday night, is indeed the championship SG2 referee. So they are full-time match officials. So following some video evidence that we submitted Tuesday night and yesterday, then Kevin and young Josh come in to go through 5 or 6 key match incidents. Very constructive meeting. I think there's a lot of compliance and a lot of agreement that it's not been that young man's finest night, and a lot of agreements to red cards and things that went against us on the night. He's been an outstanding referee, and we do our homework up until then. We have to put this to he just had a bad night, and listen, I have a lot of bad nights in football games. So he had a bad night. We thank the integrity of the EFL. We might ultimately led by Howard Webb and asking Kevin, and Kevin was a top flight official as we know himself, Kevin Friend and young Josh to come in and as eloquently as they could. We discussed it as a staff, and the players had a bit of banter with Josh when he came in the building. So, but a very constructive meeting, and we thank the PGLMO for affording us the time, because it's a big time for them to spend a day travelling here and having the best part of what's 2 hours in a meeting today. So we're thankful, but all we ask is consistency and getting these decisions right. But as a young man on an upward trajectory, you'll probably choose to forget Bolton was on Tuesday.
Put that to one side. You say we don't lose, we learn. What did you learn about your players on Tuesday night?
We learned we're outstanding for long periods. I think the Bolton manager, right on time up, myself and the big man, we have a shake of the hands, and he went, well, what a performance, outstanding. Best it's been here. It's kind of easy to say when you win. As a manager, I've done it. It's easier to say. Easier, not easy, easier. I think he knows they got a few things that went for them, but they're an outstanding team. That's what I started as a kid. Outside us, I want them to get promoted. So we'll try and beat them as best we can when they come to the Lamex. What do we learn? We learn if we make mistakes in our box, we get punished, we give a rash penalty away. We don't do our job defending set play. It's a basic man marking exercise, which we're normally very good at. And we'll learn that we can compete with some really good teams in this league. We've gone toe-to-toe with Charlton, toe-to-toe with the league leaders in Portsmouth, toe-to-toe with Oxford last week for long spells, and even more than toe-to-toe with Bolton. I think are going to be in that top 2 or 3, if not getting promoted. So from that point of view, we've learnt that a lot of what we're doing is right, but we have to then work on the deficiencies and get that right too.
If you've learnt that from Tuesday night, what do you work on in training today and tomorrow?
Well, we're working a lot more about probably mentally, talking to the players how important it is. The example I gave them is Pierre Gianni gets a broken nose. We might get a penalty from it, but he gets a broken nose and a burst face, and there's no red card given out. But I was on about the marking. Dan Sweeney doesn't get allowed to run free. They too get manhandled in every box every week in attacking situations. And I'm saying maybe we need to be a little bit more towards that with attacking players and a bit more attention to detail. So we'll talk a lot about that. We'll work on bits of that as well. But we'll still work on an attractive football. When people say we play in a certain style, we probably played the most football of the 2 teams on Tuesday and opened up a few occasions. And on the wrong end of not getting decisions, but 1-on-1 we got hold down, it's play on. But we've covered the refereeing scenario. We'll learn a lot from Bolton on Tuesday. But the most important thing we'll learn is that defeat Hearts. Is it that's Oxford? That's 2 teams in that top group. But we've also shown we can compete with them.
And that shows the last couple of games, even though we did lose, there was a lot of good football being played, a lot of competitive football. And it's just now just the result was missing.
Yeah, listen, if you're a neutral, it's a great game, isn't it? If you're a neutral, it's such a good game. Bolton are a fine side. They've got real good players. I think Dempsey's special. I think they've got a number of special players. The big boxer on, Cameron Jerome, smashes Peter Jenny. Cameron's a bit of banter with Cameron on the bench earlier in the evening. He's the good people. The good people up there. We've learned that we just need to be better in the defending situations. And that was a big strength of us. So let's get back to that solid base that we had and go from there, because we've got enough everywhere else. And we go forward with real confidence. 18 months ago we were odds on to get relegated, and here we are sitting in the top 6 of League One. We have an exciting fixture on Saturday with Wigan coming, Premier League, FA Cup winners. Sean Maloney, the manager, I used to sing his name when he was at Celtic. I won't be singing it on Saturday, Sean. I used to sing his name, and really good players. And we'll need to be our best. This is always going to be a testing period when you've got Oxford, we're at Bolton, you've got Wigan, we've got to Blackpool. In between that, we've got Wickham and the Papa John's, and then we've got the might of them all in League One, aren't we? We've got Derby County coming, so great games. But at the end of October, I said in September when we were talking, let's get to the end of October, 14, 15 games in, we'll know where we're heading.
You mentioned those teams there, they're big teams, but they're all big teams. All the way to the end of April, they're all going to be big teams and big tests.
It's why we get promoted. It's why we work so hard in League Two. And for the clubs in League One this season who are fighting for that Championship gateway, then just look at the clubs in the Championship. It's even bigger. It's even more impactful. It's even more the fans want to turn up. So we fought long and hard last season. We'd the whole town with us. The whole town are sat the ways now. We're 5th in League One, and we're going to need them ways on Saturday. And it goes as far as it goes as against us. But I've always said it's points accumulation, which spells in February and March in League Two, where we didn't look as if we were capable of winning the game. But over the piece, we stuck together, and that's what we do as a group. We've had our criticisms of certain individuals, like from Tuesday or Saturday. Those criticisms are about coaching points and how we improve. And as I told the players this morning, we would sign every one of them. If the option was to sign them tomorrow, we'd sign everyone. And
looking ahead to Saturday, what would your message be to the supporters, to the town, to the surrounding areas, to get behind Stevenage and make the Lamex a fortress?
I think first and foremost, Alfie, to them all, thank you. I mean, they've turned up in big numbers. We came in here and the crowds were barely over 1,000, weren't they? They were hard to spot, the fans. And they've consistently backed something that's been successful. Their chairman and board have worked incredibly hard. The infrastructure's a terrific place, the training ground. You can tell the difference of how we're seen as a football club, how we're growing. The fact that we get Kevin Friend here today, it's Kevin's a big hitter in the PGLMO. He's a big hitter at the EFL, and you have Kevin here, and you've heard on the phone, heard Webb, and despite all the controversies they've got on with Jurgen and all the mates of Liverpool and Tottenham, they're still focusing on getting the whole thing right. So the message to the town is thank you, but also the message is come and support us. We need you. We're playing Wigan 4 or 5 years ago, top division, Premier League. I can remember Roberto still hanging the FA Cup off the team coach, and I'm sure he can. So we respect and understand how difficult a period this is for us in League One. But we talk about coming through Derby in October, but then I look at November's fixtures and like, here we go again, and I look at December. But it's great to be involved in. It's great to be involved in, and it's great for the town.
Great, thank you, Gaffer.
Thank you.